Hey there, thanks for tuning into the Land and Home Show. Today's episode is all about title searches and mineral title searches. Hi, I'm Stephen J.B. Davis, your land specialist and residential realtor here in Central Kentucky and beyond. You're catching me in my car here on this St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to talk about mineral title searches and title searches because I realized while I was spring cleaning of all things that I don't think I really went into that in my two previous videos about mineral rights, which was months and months ago. Okay, so let's hop right to it. A title search. A title search is performed whenever a piece of property is conveyed to another person. In most general ways, I should say. I mean, I guess maybe if you conveyed a piece of property to your cousin, you may not go through all of the channels to like do whatever. But in general, if you're purchasing a piece of property from someone at arm's length, there's going to be a title search performed. That's where the escrow attorney comes from. That's what the whole point of some of the due diligence is for. Yes, you get inspections on homes, you may get a perk test on land, that kind of thing. But the title attorney, the escrow attorney, their primary job is to, of course, make sure all the papers that convey the property to you and get signed, that those are all in order and legit. But before any of that happens, they run a chain of title, and a chain of title is basically used to figure out what is the line of owners of that property, and have there ever been any aspects of ownership that have encumbered the property, or have otherwise made it such that once the property might have been sold, some other party had claim to that property or some monetary value on that property. That's what encumbrances are. A mortgage is an encumbrance. A mechanic's lien is an encumbrance. So they check for encumbrances. They also check for anything that may have clouded the title where inheritance is concerned. So, you know, if someone died and they didn't have a will and there were a bunch of heirs, but then maybe one secret heir, you know, they figure out who all these people are who could potentially have claim to that property as a result of being the decedent. Is that right? Decedent? I'm failing on my real estate words, but being an heir, anyone that could be an heir, a direct heir of someone that died that might otherwise be able to own that property. So that is what a title search is for. A title search is for checking those things out, and then, of course, hopefully delivering a clean title. If the title is not clean, we call it a clouded title, meaning there's some aspect of, there's something tied to this property that makes it not completely free and clear owned by the next owner. And then you've got to do a bunch of, depending on what the issue is, you've got to figure out, you know, how to clear the title up. A mineral title search, on the other hand, is something that does not happen with every arm's length sale. A mineral title search is something that a buyer requests, or maybe an interested, I don't know, leasing party, maybe they're a gas company or something, but it's the same idea. You're running a chain of title, but you're doing it as it pertains to the natural resources on that property. So that could mean water, that could mean coal, it could mean natural gas, it could be oil, it could be any of those types of things. The thing about mineral title searches is they're expensive. They're expensive because they're time consuming. Finding any and everybody who may or may not be alive that has claim to natural resources on a particular piece of land, or air rights even, it's hard to find those people sometimes, and it takes a lot of man hours in order to do it. So when you're going into parts of Kentucky or any part of the country really where this type of dynamic may be at play, then you should just be aware. You know, you may spend a lot of money doing it. Otherwise, you may either settle for the idea that, hey, you know, these oil wells are capped, and, you know, I'm just going to take the chance that in my lifetime that there's, you know, they've sucked out all the resources here, so I'm not really you know, maybe that's how you approach it. Maybe you say, okay, I'm just going to make sure that I'm in a place where I can get a general warranty deed, and the owner, you know, has always had this in their family. They've never severed the rights from the land. There's a lot of ways to approach buying land that may or may not have severed rights, but it's kind of an emotional choice for you. You have to figure out what it is you're willing to either spend to ensure that you have things in order and you're owning the land the way that you want to own the land, or you have to be willing to take the chance and say, probably not going to have any problems, which that's totally up to you. Probably have to sign a lot of paperwork to, you know, to acknowledge that that's what you're doing and what you're intending to do, or you have to just be done with it, like find land that doesn't have that issue, because not everywhere has mineral title things at play. I talked about this in my previous 2 mineral rights videos. There are just certain parts of the country where, you know, you don't have coal rights that are being severed from something. So you don't really need to ask about that because it's not a thing. So those are 3 ways to approach it, but it's just something you need to know about mineral title searches and how that all works. But very expensive, very time consuming, and that's all I've got. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly if you are a drinker. March Madness starts today. As far as, like, you know, the official, like, first round, we're done with the first 4 in, first 4 out kind of deal. And I just hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to be in Kentucky. Spring is starting to happen here, and hopefully it's here to stay, because we had snow last week. I thought I left all of that in Michigan. Everyone kept telling me I was moving to a southern city, and somehow, you know, we just keep getting like record snow. But anyway, I digress. I will see you all later, and comment, ask questions below, etc., etc. I'll tag the videos that I've already made extensively about mineral rights here in Kentucky. And until next time, adios.